Well, what, Gabby?
You're coming to LA tomorrow? Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
I might choke you in public.
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel once again at Lola Superstar World. And today the man of the hour is no other than Mr. Shannon Sharpe himself. Can you believe that? It was only last year everybody was talking about Club Shay Shay. Everybody was talking about the famous interview in the beginning of 2024, January last year, the interview with Shannon Sharpe and Cat Williams. It was roaring. It set off so many trends, so many jokes, so many laughters. It was what it was giving so much of what we didn't know we needed for 2024. And now here we are, 2025. And who is everybody talking about now? Not P. Diddy. I mean, P. Diddy, his name is still in rotation. But now it's Mr. Club Shay Shay himself, Shannon Sharpe. Wetting, my people, wetting. What the sunken place is going on in the atmospheric region of the United States of America. It's getting wild on the streets, and right about now the whole of social media, their tongues are roaring. They're roaring on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. These YouTube streets, they cannot get Shannon Sharpe out of their mouth, and they are digging into his whole life from the beginning to the end, from everything, his children, his women he could have married, the whole works. But here on this channel, you know how it is, my people. You know how we do it. We like to look at the biblical lessons. What can be learned? How did we get to this day where there's currently a 50 million lawsuit that is going out? I'm saying going out. I'll say allegedly. It's actually out there at the moment against Mr. Shannon Sharpe himself and his 20-year-old OnlyFans girlfriend, local hookup, regular hookup, freak off session, allegedly. This is all speculations at the moment, but it's going down round about now. How did we get here? How did we get here? Well, this is what we're going to try and diagnose at this moment, because there's a lot to discuss and it's just not right. Last year, Shannon Sharpe was giving the interviews. People talking to Shannon Sharpe about things that were going on with P. Diddy and other people in the industry. How has he now become the story himself? You know, and unlike P. Diddy, this girl is above 18. She's not a minor. She's known as Gabby, as known as her OnlyFans site. And apparently her and Mr. Club Shay Shay, they've been in a relationship or an on entanglement, service for hire for almost 2 years. But now there's a 50 million lawsuit. There's allegations of being choked out. There's allegations of gaping. There's allegations of using the back door without consent or without, proper consent to do so in an aggressive and a vigorous way. Allegedly. It's all speculations right now, and Shannon Sharpe is trying to fight this case. But we have to go to the beginning. How did we get there? Shannon Sharpe has never been married. Shannon Sharpe currently has 3 kids. He has 3 kids from 3 different women, 3 different baby mothers at the moment. Shannon Sharpe is currently 56, almost 57. And the word on the street is he likes to date young girls. And the thing is, people have tried to warn him. Monique tried to warn him. Cat Williams tried to warn him, and funny enough, they tried to warn him in his interviews about the kind of women that he needs in his life to avoid a situation like this. And like I said, it's all speculations right now. He hasn't been charged, nothing's been proven in a court of law, but things like this do not look good. It doesn't look good at all. And right about now, everybody's running through his history, running through every single relationship he's had with any other woman, running through any incidents he's had or any allegations or police reports he's had with other women, and it's not looking good, my people.
I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I do. This is your auntie talking to you.
It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period.
Shannon Sharpe grew up with his grandmother, who was a Christian. So he had a knowledge of God. He grew up in a family, a household where they had a knowledge of God. If not, he would have had the basic knowledge of God. And one of the principal foundations of Christianity is that we shouldn't sin. And one of the principal sins, especially a sin that is towards your body, is sexual immorality. That is fornication. That's when you're engaging in sexual activities outside of a marriage, outside of the covenant of a marriage. Then you have adultery. That's when you are in a covenant relationship with your husband and your wife. So it's a covenant relationship within two people blessed under God. And then you start engaging in sexual activity outside of that covenant relationship with your partner. That's adultery. And then there's also being unclean, where you do everything else with a sexual nature that is unclean, that is not of God. Every sin that you sin is outside of the body, but sexual sin is inside the body. And the wages of sexual sin is death. The wages of all sin is death. And the wages of sexual sin you would reap inside your body as well. So this is one of the basics, the foundations that Shannon Sharpe would have known. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong of living a life where you're not married. So many of the great apostles in the Bible, a lot of the disciples of Jesus Christ, they were not married. There's nothing wrong with not being married. If you're not married, it means you can solely concentrate your works for God. There's nothing wrong with not being married and being a Christian as long as you are celibate. But then if you have the urge, if the rays of passion is within you, and there's nothing wrong with that as well. God created marriage so that a husband and wife can enjoy each other. So if you are not living a life of celibacy, then it's better to find a husband or a wife, and you guys can enjoy each other under a covenant relationship sanctified by God, where children can be produced. So not being married is not an issue. But if you're not married, you're meant to be celibate. You're meant to be holy. If you can't stay celibate, then you're meant to come into a marriage and be with your one designated partner who you have a covenant with and live a life that glorifies God. But this life that Shannon has been living, you're not married, but we're having so many different stories of one entanglement to another. This is fornication all over the place. And obviously we're not judging. No one is here to judge, but we're trying to look at the root. What is the root cause that has put Shannon Sharpe in this situation now, where there's a 50 million lawsuit with a 20-year-old young girl who's younger than his daughters, a 20-year-old girl, where you're engaging in indecent, yes, it's consensual, but it's very strange, unbiblical, indecent behavior with this young girl who you're having to pay for her time. She's an OnlyFans model. She's young enough to be your daughter. You are more older than her. You're in two different power dynamics, power levels. You're of a higher influence. Your earning capacity and influence is a lot higher than her. So it just looks wrong in so many ways. And then on top of that, you're engaging in behaviors. I'll say allegedly. Nothing's been proven in a court of law yet at the moment. It just raises the alarm bells of wrong. It arranges all of these alarm bells. And like I said, it goes back to the principle. You were brought up in a way of God. You know the principle of God. I get it. People fall out of alignment of their foundations. But it just goes to show, if you had stayed in the perimeters of righteousness, a scandal like this couldn't get you. If you were a married man stuck within the covenant of a marriage with your wife, a scandal like this is less likely to get you. If you were engaging in a relationship with an older woman with the same maturity of youth, it's less likely like a scandal like this would happen. I'm not saying it can't still happen, but she's a lot younger than you. There's a 36-year gap between you, roughly, allegedly. You're 57, 56, she's 20 years old. There's a different level of maturity. She's a child. She's your OnlyFans model. You're a retired NFL star. You've had an amazing career. Everyone looks up to you. You're worth, 14 million pounds? Your interview with, Cat Williams alone, which exploded last year. Allegedly, people are saying that from Google, it generated roughly £6 million alone. So there's a different level in age, power power dynamics, earning dynamics. She's having to sell her body online to make money. So there's so many different ways. The blame, if things go wrong, is always going to be looking at you, because you should be a role model to her. You should be able to point her in a right direction. You should have been the one telling her, why are you living a life like this, and promoting her and pushing her to live a life of righteousness. Push her to go to university and quit her OnlyFans model lifestyle. But instead of doing that, you're using her services. You know, so it's just wrong in so many ways. The wages of sin is death. The devil is a roaring lion. His job is to steal, rob, kill, and destroy. Right about now, isn't your reputation being destroyed? Hasn't your peace been stolen away from you because now you're fighting this lawsuit? Before, you were the one who was on your show, Club Shay Shay, to interviewing other people and listening to their stories. Now you're the story. Now you're the story with so much scandal, and your name is just, like I said, your name's all over social media. It's been dragged. It's been, the YouTube streets, the social media streets are roaring, and everybody's whispering, Shannon Sharpe, Shannon Sharpe, Shannon Sharpe. That's why when God has these lines and principles, when God puts these things in place, he does it for our protection. He does it for our peace. He does it for our safety. God doesn't need to tell us all the devices of the devil. God does not need to give us an A to Z dissertation on how the devil would inflict us. We're meant to stay in the realms of his righteousness so that we can be safe, or so that at least if the devil's trying to attack us, we can fight him off. We're in the full armor of God, and we're able to trample on those demonic devices that is used as an arrow to destroy our peace. But when you have cracks in your armor, when you have cracks in your shield of righteousness, this is how the arrows of Satan are able to attack you and destroy you. You know, let me right about now, what the story is still evolving. It's evolving fastly. This is just a cautionary tale for all of us. We have to try and live righteous. Let's aim to be righteous, because if we want to make it into heaven, our robes have to be as white as snow. It's a cautionary tale for all of us. We have to try to abstain from sin and be righteous. God does not like sexual immorality. Jesus even said, even if you look at a woman, just looking at a woman without doing anything, just looking at a woman in a lustful way, already you've committed either fornication and adultery. So this is to tell you the level of holiness that is required from our side. Yeah? Sexual immorality is a no-no. And if Shannon Sharpe was living a life where he was more aligned with his either married or living a life of celibacy, he definitely would not be in this situation. And if these arrows or darts were being thrown at him, he would have been at a situation where he can shield it off. But let's see how things go. This situation is still unfolding. Thank you once again for listening. Thank you once again for enjoying. Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll be continuing and looking at this story a lot more with a part 2.
You single?
Damn, you tried to hit on me? I ain't got no money. I'm telling you, I ain't got no money.
I'm standing with Uncle Shannon because I don't like when black men get taken down. I got to stand by him. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper. Yes, he's a lifetime snow bunny hopper, but that's my brother.